Welcome back to another Waynos Fotos video. We've got a couple of topics to drop today in this video. And the first one is, yep, you guessed it, Egan Bernal wins the Giro d'Italia. So we're going to have a bit of a talk about that. And the second topic is there's been another questionable banning by the UCI. And this time it's our good old mate, Mr. Disney from Aerocoach. So let's roll that intro and let's get right into the fun. Well, congratulations to Egan Bernal for his win of the Giro d'Italia. Now, I will acknowledge that he's riding for the best team. Egan's at the absolute peak of his fitness, and all of these factors have made a difference for him winning. But we still have to acknowledge the fact that this was done on a bike that brings old technology to this race. It has tubular wheels and it also has rim brakes. And, you know, if we listen to the tech, everyone's saying disc brakes are better. They're saying that the new clincher wheels are more aero, and they're really enticing us to change to this new technology. But the disc brakes, even though they dominate the peloton as the most popular bike now, they just can't seem to win a Grand Tour. And what's funny enough is good old Chris Froome's getting in there and having a bit of a troll and basically going, well, you know, I don't think a rim brake bike has won a Grand Tour yet. Put it down in the comments if you can prove I'm wrong. So he's weighed in on the subject, which I find quite amusing because obviously he's just, you know, it's all about him getting views. I mean, he has to ride what he's given and he's on a Focus disc bike. So it is very interesting, and it will be interesting is if Focus actually decide to give him a rim brake bike for the Tour if he rides in the Tour de France. So, you know, watch that space, all I can say. Now, the second story is about Mr. Disney from Aerocoach. Now, he has some wheels that he puts out, and this is what's been questioned by the UCI. And what they've actually done is they've banned the wheel or the wheel axle through axle because it has a piece on it that is designed to be aero. But it is an integral part of the wheel, and this is where people are sort of scratching their heads that it does actually stay within the realms of the rule if you read it closely. But the UCI, being consistent at not being consistent, has basically said we ban it. So good old Mr. Disney from Aerocoach fame and Hambini fame, they're good mates. I think even Hambini has got some pet name for him. So go and check out one of Hambini's video and you might actually find out what that pet name is. But moving on, what it is it's like an aero-shaped lever that comes off the wheel, and they're claiming that this is a shroud or whatever, but when you actually look at it, it's not a shroud and it actually is an integral part of the wheel. It's like saying, you know, an aero wheel can't be aero, we're going to ban it. Of course, you know, we do have aero wheels because it's an integral part of the wheel. So the UCI being a little bit finicky here, and, you know, I've had this criticism before. The UCI needs to get a bit more consistent on how they apply their rules. And personally, I'm not really a fan of these rules where they're trying to limit the performance of the bikes. Now, we had it back in the 90s where they severely limited the aero bikes that were really starting to get some real gains for the riders, and the UCI didn't like this, so they banned them. Now we're actually getting them starting to ban smaller things that can give them some advantage. But where I don't like this is it restricts technology in the bikes. I mean, I would love to be able to ride a really outrageous looking bike that's actually been designed so it's really aero and get away from this triangular frame design, because it's really limiting the bikes, you know. I mean, we're getting all this stuff like disc brakes and integrated handlebars, but really they're actually proving it. They're not adding to any performance. But if the bikes were allowed, they relaxed the rules on the aero capability of the bikes, we could actually have some real performance games, and you could have the actual manufacturers competing on trying to bring the best bike to these grand events. And I reckon that would be great for competition. I mean, I know they say it's about the rider's performance and they want to limit the bike. But let's face it, I mean, these bikes are a fortune. And let's face it, you know, if your favourite rider rides a certain bike, many people are going to go and buy that bike. So it's a market where they're selling product as well as running a sport. It's the same with any type of industry, with shoes in basketball and so on and so on. Well, anyway, guys, that's my two topics today. Let me know what you think about these UCI rules and their bannings and their inconsistency. And also, get down there and hashtag save the rim brake, guys. See you next vid.